time where global health partners are working tirelessly to end the scourge of disease outbreaks and alarming mortality figures around the world, sensitization has become a necessary tool of this endeavor. Join Sage Babalola on Health Plus at 11:15 a.m. every Friday as we explore a variety of topics, address health concerns, and provide evidence-based answers from nutrition and mental health to cutting-edge treatments and healthy living. Health Plus aims not just to inform but to empower you to take control of your health. 98.3 FM every Friday from 10:15 a.m. as we lend our voice to the global health movement.
This is Health Plus on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Your health is a priority and your well-being matters.
Good morning, wonderful listeners. Welcome to Health Plus on Mainland of everyone. And I am Sage Babalola. Of course, I'm hosting the program. And we are about to usher you into another very exciting, enlightening episode of Health Plus. Our who can speak to the essence of the conversations that were Albinism Awareness Day, one that is celebrated every third. So celebrating their beauty, celebrating their resilience, their unique contribution to society as well. And we are in a world that is so focused on physical appearance, and we believe it has become essential to emphasize that beauty transcends mere skin, of strength and inspiration in a very, very superficial world. And that is why today we are joined by a remarkable guest, an individual with albinism who will share his personal journey, advocating for inclusion, and help us sort of understand the social stigmas and the misconceptions about persons that are living with albinism. And that is the theme that we're deciding to use here at Milan 98.3 FM as we join the rest of the world to commemorate International Albinism Awareness Day. And my guest already joins me now. He can straight from the horse's mouth to have you on radio.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course, as somebody living with albinism in Nigeria, how has it shaped who you are? How has it
Yeah, once again, my name is Professor Animashao, and it's been an interesting journey, actually. It's been about, when you get your parents annoyed, they just tell you stories, right? Just get back at you, what albino. And then, she never liked the idea of having albino. Actually, she doesn't want albinos because she does not know. And then I think she has a parent of person with albino. And then, trying our best.
I totally understand. It's been difficult, yes. So I want you to walk me through some of the challenges that you've had to surmount as a person who's living with albinism. Have you suffered some sort of, should I say, being ostracized, for example, or not being allowed to participate or try out?
Oh, well, I would say that it was a little bit less on my side because I've actually been lucky, right? I've been in friendly environments. I don't know, environment like places where they already, I wouldn't say they know everything, but then they are willing to learn. Of course, I wouldn't say it was always bright every time, right? There are some environments, there are some times that there are some places I've been to whereby things like OSHA, some kind of derogatory statements that are not encouraging, and maybe forcing them to have low self-esteem and stuff like that. So for me, my environment has been welcoming, but then at times, there is also this perception of persons with albinism being a tool for ritual, like a tool for wealth generation and all like that. And these are all not actually real. In fact, I have a high volume of people that are superstitious, so that's why these kind of things grow. And these kind of things have actually, sometimes it gets to me. But then really affected. Yeah, we don't really get all the opportunities because, I think I attended the government school, and I could remember then that I'm not allowed to do some sports, right? Some outdoor games. Not because I can't do it, but because they said that my skin is too sensitive, right? And they feel like I might not be able to, So, but then, like I said, my environment has been better. But then, for some people, I've actually had someone say, like, I was actually like casting a distance. I don't know, like because of this superstition belief that has actually been, spreading around, and because probably he or she was not able to do some particular task that was assigned. So it's, there's a large need for awareness in the country right now, and that's basically what it is.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm talking here with Abdulafiz Anima Shaun today as we're joining the world to commemorate International Albinism Awareness Day. And the theme that we're choosing here on melanitis pigment on their skin. And my guest here has sort of opened the conversation by talking about his personal experiences and also attempting to debunk some of the myths that a lot of people with albinism have had to suffer. For example, because of the kind of country we're in, you hear things like, oh, this is a tool for ritual. And then there's some people who think that having albinism is some sort of demonic thing that they can cast and bind out of you. It can be very demeaning, and it can force these people to suffer a lot of mental discomfort. And speaking of mental distress, what sort of mental implication has this had? And you don't even have to speak about just yourself. I know that you are around people that also suffer from albinism. Yes, you have friends, you have a community, and their experiences differ from person to person. You say you've been a little bit lucky, but some people don't have the same opportunity as you. They've not exactly been lucky in the way the world was people living with albinism. And before you answer that question, I would like to let everyone know that we're streaming this program live on Facebook. So whatever part in at Mainland 98.3 FM or via our official website www.mainlandfm.com. So please go on ahead and answer that question for me.
Okay, yeah. So as regards the mental constraints that these kind of things cause on persons with albinism, it cause them to have low self-esteem. Nobody knows in that week. But then the first thing we are hearing is OSHA, all these kind of names and stuff like that. And then, sometimes you don't want to pass on particular areas. Sometimes you don't want to do certain things. Sometimes, it just like drags you back. So first thing is that it lowers their self-esteem. And with the self-esteem lowered, that's the beginning of a lot of problems, because they draw back education, they draw back academically, they draw back. It's actually obvious. I had a conversation with someone, and she was like, she never knew that I'll think of such a thing because of the kind of environment alone. Like, they can't stand without being held. So hearing this kind of thing, just kind of like hurts a lot. So it affects them, it affects their self-esteem. That's one. Then also,
very overwhelming. That's okay. Just talk to us in the capacity that you're able to talk to us in. We understand. What sort of measures, Paul? Yes, but if we were to help, what can we help as people who do not necessarily understand but want to understand? What would you like people to do? What would you like people to know? What sort of facilities would you like to be made available, to provide some sort of respite and succor for people who are living with albinism?
Okay, so what I can suggest is just that people should be willing to learn and like to relate more with them, because a lot of these people, they say albinos just take salt.
Albinos don't do what?
Albinos don't eat salt.
Oh, salt. Okay.
I eat a lot of things. Like, I eat everything, bro. I eat everything, and I was like, watch me eat it, that kind of thing. So it's only when you come closer to them that you actually like learn more about them. There are a lot of people that do not. There are a lot of people that have actually come across and they ask questions, and then they are surprised, like, the kind of response they get, because of you've heard a lot of things about them that are not correct. So you should also be open to relate with them and also help them fast spread the message. That's the first thing. Then I would really, really appreciate if the government could provide documents that could actually be shared on. Okay, if you could recall, I think there was this documentary that government did on hate speech that was actually famous back then. A documentary like that. So if this kind of documentaries are done for persons with like a documentary like that is made of persons with disability, albinism rather, and it's shown on channel, a lot of people would actually like learn this thing because they are seeing this thing on the other documentary. Like it's just to create awareness. There are still a lot of people that need to be aware of this myth and to be cautious of them. And do you know the funny thing about this thing is that I have actually been there's actually an association, AEN, Albinism Association of Nigeria. We already have an association, but if I tell you that a lot of people do not even know that this association exists, and this is actually where I was hoping to help address the myth. There should also be like a promotion like for these associations, because there are a lot of persons with albinism that do not even know that this association exists. I can tell that association is the vicinity, that same vicinity where that association is. If I walk out and walk across the next 2 streets and ask someone if they knew an association like that is there, they will tell me no. So that's how serious it is. They don't even know. People, the main thing I will actually stress here is awareness. They eventually, intuitively know what to do. Intuitively know what to do. So the main thing I can just stress is awareness. For now, we need awareness.
Well, I'm aware that there's something of a pageantry that's happening soon. Are you participating in that? I saw that there's a pageantry as well where people with albinism were spoken to. And one thing that one of the women said caught my attention. She said while she was pregnant, somebody stopped her and said, who impregnated a person with it was said in Yoruba, attractive? Is that something that bothers you as well? The way people view you, and I'm talking about interpersonal relationships, has that in any way been a problem? Or have you seen people who would say that, well, you're everything I want, but because you have albinism, I cannot be with you? And one of the women also said that even when she finds somebody that finds her attractive, somebody would say, why would you want to be with someone that has albinism? There are other women. Is this an experience that you've had or that you've seen?
This experience personally, no, I haven't. But then I've actually heard people actually know and understand all these things, because for someone to say he or she does not like a person with albinism, there is already an underlying understanding that probably this person is, I don't know, not good for me, or this person will cause me to have a child living with albinism. I don't want my child to face the same fate as this kind of person. Those kind of things, right? So those are mainly actually the reasons. As for me personally, I haven't actually faced something like that. And I felt like this awareness, I'm 100% sure that persons with albinism would, present themselves much more differently, because now they have an increased self-esteem and then probably care more about their skin. Because another reason why someone would say such a thing is
freckles. They have freckles.
Okay. Yeah, freckles, exactly. So because they have these freckles, they have exactly. So these are only the reasons why people will say that. But then, if they know that this kind of thing, all these things will reduce.
I think that we're all human beings, and pigment should not determine how a person is being treated. We're already suffering systemic racism outside the country, so it's unfortunate that in Nigeria we're then suffering. This is Abdulafiz Animashaun. We spoke about with albinism as well, and you've heard him, some of the myths, and he has debunked it, some of their experiences, and what we need to do better as a people and as a society. You have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for coming on the program. There you have it. We do have another program coming up in another 2 minutes, yes, and I wanted us to take a break so we can usher in our next guest. But what on their skin does not make them any less of a person. They do well for themselves, do things. Yes, they need to be extra cautious, but it doesn't mean that they cannot do things or function like every person that exists. So let's be sensitive, let's be understanding, let's be accommodating, and keep your thoughts to yourself. And we can continue the conversation here on Mainland 98.3 FM.
She just wants to be beautiful. She goes